Cthulhu, please. Stop playing with my electronics. Hello, everybody. Let's try that from the top. And screen transition, roses, and then the Bone Man prepares his ill-prepared speech. Fish. You don't think much of it. Mostly because it sits in tin cans and runs through the river like little mice in a maze. But in reality, the fish do matter. And in Arkham, you don't eat the fish. The fish eat you. Well, that was embarrassing. Thank you, OBS, for immediately removing my access to my microphone. That was interesting. That was very interesting. Anyway, hello Detective Reeds over on the YouTube side. Hello Centrion on the Twitch side. And of course, hello Dahlia. Congrats on surviving 9 days of hell. The core of customer service providers salutes you. A smelly fish out of 10. I think that's an insult, but I'll let it slide. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm tired. As always, I'm tired, and I'm glad I managed to survive 3 days of streaming in a row with all that's been going on. But man, the shit keeps hitting the fan. I am tired and angry. Well, my condolences to whatever has made you that way, but I hope this can at least alleviate the tension somewhat. Me, I'm nervous, as always. I'm nervous about the rebrand and how I haven't done anything about it, but I had adult IRL stuff to do that wasn't Gehenna related, so my time has been taken away. Fighting Cthulhu is therapeutic, you're right. It's nice to be in another world that's potentially going to eat you alive and not have to have any consequences from it. Anyway, I hope you all are ready to peep the horrors and investigate even more grisly murders, because the Dark Rites of Arkham has just all that and more. It's a pixel art cosmic horror for anybody who has not seen this yet, so viewer discretion is advised. If you got a weak stomach for the red stuff, this may not be your cup of tea. But Detective Reeds, you were here for Call of Cthulhu, so I assume you've got some steel nerves on you. Now, I got nothing to talk about, but I do have a small little thing to put out there. If anybody was looking forward to the official release of the legally distinct OST to Kai on Trial, I regret to inform you that that is going to take too much time, and I need to focus on the rebrand for the time being. So, at some point in October, hopefully, I will have a proper mix of the OST ready to get put out on the interwebs. But for now, the game stream is all you've got to listen to, as well as the one track that I put in the community Discord. Maybe... well, okay. I'm not going to upload any more of them because they are like rough mono drafts that I barely managed to scrape together in time for the game's unveiling. But in due time, when I have less to crush my brain with, I will definitely look into making them properly mixed, maybe adding a little bit additives on top of it, but it will get released. Don't you worry. You can listen to your Temu Phoenix Wright soundtrack sometime soon. Sometime this year. I'm holding myself to that. But aside from that, I've got plenty of work to do, and as do we. And my voice is going to go through hell trying to voice every gangster, mobster, and detective in this game. So, as long as y'all are hanging in there and I'm ready to put on one hell of a show as always, I'd say it's high time we get back into the Dark Rites of Arkham. If it would show up. There we go. Okay. Uno minuto. Just gotta fix something. Glad you're excited, Detective Reeds. Alright. So, let's go ahead and That's not the one I want, I think. Oh, it is. It is, actually. Okay, cool. So, welcome on in, Raves. How you doing, bud? Oh, man. You and I need to, like, properly chat at some point. I have, by the way, I have Valorant downloaded. So, the gun is loaded. The gun is loaded. I just have to be willing to pull the trigger. Again. I have not touched Valorant in forever. But maybe someday you can chain me into the basement along with you and the rest of your friends. Now you have no. You think I am willing to go back to that rift? No, sir. My friend Michael has been trying to get me back into League, and I spent my time. I did my time there. I do not want to go back. No. No. Oh God. He gets to know he has reinforcements. That's bad. That's very bad. Anyway. Welcome to the Dark Rites of Arkham. We are Detective Jack Foster. Yes, sir, it's another Jack. And we are paired up with Detective Whitman, Dr. Harvey Whitman. And we are tasked with doing what exactly? I forgot. I legitimately have forgotten. But here's the story we know so far. Actually, I wonder. Let's go ahead and head back to our office real quick. Don't mind the accommodations here. Actually, wait, this place has no good jazz music. We need to go back. League is a special kind of hell, yes, and I must admit that I spent a fair amount of time in it back when I was younger and had a lot more time on my hands. A friend of mine actually got me into it. I won't say his handle because he might still be around on the interwebs, but it has Yumi. I know. League character designs are peak, even though they take up like a thumb's size on your screen. Everybody's about the skins, man. Everybody's about the skins. Okay. Harvey's not going to tell us anything, but what I understand, what I recall, is this. We are Detective Jack Foster. We went on a trip. We went on a stakeout to find out what was going on in an arms deal. It went south. Really south. So south, in fact, that we managed to get into a on-the-road gunfight between us and a big tanker full of some black ichor. And said black ichor, after we destroyed it, was throwing off some psychic waves. Something was disturbing our partner at the time. And instead of trying to talk it out, go see a psychiatrist or something, he blew his brains out. And the reason he blew his brains out? Well, it happened to be lurking in the black ichor. Some horrid creature that you see on the thumbnail jumped out and said hello, and Jack went insane. Fast forward to now, and we are playing catch up with our reputation. We are not well off, and in order to keep us under watch, they have assigned Dr. Harvey Whitman to assist us in all of our investigations day to day. Right now, we're looking into a curious case. Hello, B, by the way. You're not late. You're right on time. We're looking into a curious case about a ritualistic murder. There was 2 bodies discovered in a hotel where we were doing a simple retrieval mission for a certain senator. It was 2 dead bodies. One had its head completely vaporized in a red circle that was somewhat satanic in nature. Not sure what. Second, the other body was nothing but a hand. a very charred hand. And there are no, like, definitive human ways that those two could have been obliterated like that. It looked like the man's head had been chomped off or taken off by something, and it was nowhere to be found. The other man just had a hand left over, and that's it. Several strange diagrams. But we need to find some more information. But before we did that, we had to go ahead and get our head checked and approved for field operation by a local shrink. That's where we found out about how Jack's partner died truly, and what Jack saw in that big sting operation. So now, if I recall correctly, we're going to go do some proper investigation into this occult business. Let's see. Long Metropolitan Park, Arkham Police Station. Striner, who hypnotized us into remembering exactly what happened that night, helped us out there. Marsh Antiques, and the esoteric bookstore, the Ishtar Gate. Okay. So, if I recall correctly, Harvey has a friend who apparently is at Marsh Antiques, who might be able to help us understand the glyphs. Sir Bones, would you ever play a Walking Dead game? I already have. Not on stream, but a long time ago. I actually owned the first series. Or first season? How did they call it? I don't know. But yeah, I've played it before. I wouldn't be opposed to playing it again. It's just a matter of finding the time and time slots. The first season is the best. That's what I've heard. Okay. Well, esoteric bookstore, Long Metropolitan Park, Dr. Helen Striner, psychiatrist, Marsh Antiques. I'm curious about Marsh Antiques, so why not? It's across the river. Rob's Diner, open 24 hours, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, this is where your pen pal keeps his antique shop. That's right, Harvey had a pen pal who was helping him with his occult research. Mr. Harvey Whitman here, or Dr. Harvey Whitman, I should say, is a occult fanatic and expert. Don't think he's silly for it. He knows his stuff. October is a spooky season. Walking Dead as zombies. Could do it as a series next year. Maybe. We'll have to see how things work out for this October, because we got the rebrand stuff going on in September. Alright, so let's resume. So, this is where your pen pal keeps his antique shop. Yes, it's a little further down the road. What about this here diner? Ooh. Something smells good. You up for a bite? We're in the middle of an investigation and we're running late. How about we leave it for later? Your call, partner. Free. Hold on. Free canned goods? Free? Yeah, Rob wants to do something for the folks who lost everything and can't afford a plate. But they don't look too healthy. I mean, the cans are rusted to hell. Doubt the insides look any prettier. Look, this is all Rob's thing. Complaints to him. What the hell? They're free. I'll grab one. It can rot in my jacket pocket. What about two of them? Already took one. Aw, okay. Alright. I love how Sam and Max this feels. I'm not a streamer though, so I don't know how y'all do this shit. It varies person to person, I assure you. From the smell of it, I'd say he's one hell of a cook. He's reading the Boston Globe. I don't want to bother him. What about you? The man's enjoying his meal. I've got nothing to say to him. What's on the menu? I'm so hungry that if I had to choose between a raise and being fed the entire menu, I'd take the raise, of course. So with a rebrand, are you still going to be a skeleton detective? No, Reeds, actually. I will be human-esque. As in, I'll have eyes, I'll have skin. I won't be a skeleton anymore, but I'll still be the same old Ricky T. Bones by name. I got something special planned for the rebrand, don't y'all worry. It'll be still death adjacent. Or dead guy adjacent. So I still get to make necrotic jokes. Yippee. Alright. What are we doing here, Jack? We should be working the case. Alright, I'm sorry. Just wanted to check in, see if they were offering some good coffee. Let's go down the road a bit. Ooh. Hey, how are you, buddy? Hey! What are you doing? I was going to pet the dog. So, you wouldn't shake my hand when we met, but you'll pet a mangy stray. Get your hand the hell away from it, unless you want to catch mange. You should pet the dog in every game. Jack, come on. Hi there, buddy. Hey, again? Why the urge to pet a stray dog? Oh, they like to be petted. No, you like it. Stay away from him. Man, you're a stick in the mud, Foster. Please tell me you're either gonna fall out of a window or get hit by a truck again. You'll see. You'll see. I got something special in mind. Don't you worry. Alright, let's step into Marsh's antique shop. Here it is. Hello, Todd90, welcome on in. Before we go in, I should mention something to you. Shoot. Huh? Oh. Benjamin. Uh-oh. Remember what I was saying about fish, y'all? Benjamin Marsh hails from Innsmouth. What do you know about Innsmouth? Well, about 3 years ago, the feds stormed the town like the damn 7th Cavalry. They raided, arrested half the town, and dynamited the waterfront. I don't know what happened there, but it must have been big. Oh, and the folks there have a strange look about them. Word is, it's from inbreeding. I don't know. I've never seen one of them. We know a lot about Innsmouth. Yeah, a little too much about Innsmouth, honestly. This game reminds me of another game, Dreams in the Witch House. Ooh. I've only seen The Witch's House, the RPG Maker horror game. The people of Innsmouth are very reserved, and their distrust of strangers borders on paranoia. It took me many letters to gain his trust. I am telling you all this because it should be me the one who talks to him. Oh, don't worry. I'll do the talking. If he plays hard to get, I'll smack him around. Jack, it's a joke. A joke? Don't you have a sense of humor? Come on, let's go in. Remember, let me do the talking.
Who are you? What the hell do you want?
Mr. Marsh?
Do I know you?
Not in person. I'm Harvey Whitman. We've been corresponding these past few months.
Harvey Whitman, eh? Huh? I don't talk to pigs. Pigs. Get lost.
Oh, That's enough out of you. My turn. Listen, pal. I don't know who you think you are, but around here, the only man who gets to insult my only one man gets to insult my partner, and that's me. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph!
What's the matter? Never seen anyone from Innsmouth before?
Not this close. Us a little bit too close. Also, hello, Buckshot. Mr. Marsh, you look about as welcoming as a walleye with a pink eye. Ooh, them's fighting words. If he's a Marsh, he's technically supposed to be a fugitive, ain't he? I saw a picture of you once in the one of you in the paper once. I thought it was blurry. Guess not. Allow me to make the introductions. I'm Detective Jack Foster, and this is my partner, Detective Harvey Whitman.
I know who this guy is. For months he's been pumping me for information about the knowledge of symbology. And it turns out he's a damn cop.
If he's a marsh, he's technically should be an enemy of the state currently, if this is any time post the raid on Innsmouth. Yeah. Yep, definitely looks like the average folk in Innsmouth.
Just like you. So you can both get the hell out.
Hey! Relax, will you? We just want some information on a strange symbol. My partner swears you're Arkham's foremost mind on occult symbols.
And rightly so.
Great. We've come to the right place.
Now you can go somewhere else. I'm not helping you.
Seeing as the US government explicitly gunned down most of the town's population that were tied to the cult, yeah. He is not exactly high on the US resident reputation list. Alright, look, it's a police business. You ought to help. We're not here to look at antiques. This is police business, and you should help us.
For my own good, is it? Is this where the threats come in?
No one is going to threaten anyone, Mr. Marsh. Refusing to assist the Arkham police could lead to your arrest. For obstruction of justice. It would be better for all if we arrived at an amicable agreement.
What is it you're not understanding? I won't place my knowledge in the hands of oppressors.
Oh, I see why you don't like the police. I see you don't like the police, huh?
I thought I had been subtle.
Come on, what's with the bile?
You Arkham cops helped the feds destroy my hometown.
And don't look at me, I wasn't there. It was Jack Walters, different Jack.
You're part of the same repressive organization.
We're just enforcing the law.
Repressive laws.
Oh man, are we gonna get spoilers for Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth here? Alright, I'll bite. Oh, sorry, fish pun. What happened in Innsmouth? What the hell happened in Innsmouth? The feds were investigating an alarming series of disappearances in the area.
People disappear every day, everywhere. People are irresponsible and careless.
Word is, they found a connection between these disappearances and a cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon.
Nonsense! This is America. Everyone must look the same and believe in the same God if they don't want to be singled out. You want to know what happened in Innsmouth? Look at yourselves, then look at me. That is what happened in Innsmouth.
Cute. I mean, he sort of has a point. A different Jack went apeshit and shut up the place. I'd say the feds missed a few. Yeah, if one Marsh is living here, he's not doing any harm. The Esoteric Order of Dagon is gone by now, so I think he's just trying to survive. We're asking a small favor, that's all. Help us crack a symbol so we can close a case, and we're gone. You'll never see us again.
Help the police? Did the police help me at the Arkham Museum of the Unusual?
What?
No one spared a minute to hear me.
What happened at the museum?
It's none of your concern.
Alright, why did you call my partner a pig?
Because he's a cop.
I'm a cop too. Does that make me a pig too?
That's right.
Watch it, pal.
You deceived me. Until your last letter, you didn't comment on what you did for a living.
Our correspondence began as one scholar to another. Perhaps I should have mentioned it if it was so important to you. I beg your pardon.
And on top of that, the data I provided helped solve a case. I feel dirty for helping a fascist institution.
Jeez, okay, hold on there. Hold on, we ain't fascists. No, not yet. That would be if there was an alternate America out there. Alright, so what happened at the No, I'm curious. I've never been to Innsmouth. Would you recommend it? Is there good food in the area? Fish, I suppose.
You've missed nothing. Leave the people of Innsmouth alone, and we'll return the courtesy.
So you... Okay, what happened at the Arkham Museum of the Unusual? The literal far-right theocratic cultist calling the Fed a fascist. Yeah, I know. In some ways, it's the pot calling the kettle black. In other ways, it's just, like, meaningless. Anyway, moving on from the political discourse there. What happened at the Arkham Museum of the Unusual?
The police taking a stand against anyone who's different from them.
I see. So they threw you out because you looked like a well-ripened pickle. Alright. Both kettles are black, but the other's covered in fucking barnacles. Yeah, when you put it like that, Avocado Face here ain't exactly winning any beauty contests. Or trust, for that matter. Anyway, so you claim you're the top hand in symbology.
I am. I have been studying occult symbology all my life. I've had access to books and documents that other scholars would kill for.
I think you are bluffing. Guess that's his name now, Avocado Face. You're nothing more than a simple antique dealer. I don't think this fellow can help us out, Harvey.
I know what you're trying to do, Detective, but that's not gonna work on me.
Alright. We'll be back.
I hope not.
Well, he seemed like a pleasant fellow. Psst. Your friend isn't being cooperative at all. Indeed, we should try to gain his trust. I don't know. I'm getting more and more tempted to slap him around a bit.
What are you mumbling about?
Okay. So clearly this guy's gonna take some convincing. Let's go ahead and have a look around his wares, and then we'll go visit the museum, see if we can't smooth out what he may or may not have done. I see a certain resemblance to you. Is he a relative of yours?
Captain Obed Marsh. Great expeditionary. The man behind Innsmouth's fat years.
Word is, he was the founder of the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Is that true?
You know nothing about Captain Marsh or what went on in Innsmouth. Nor do you have the right to know.
Prosperous years, yeah. That's basically what fat years mean. Whew. Man, I'm glad we've been playing Call of Cthulhu before we played this game. We have so much context for this. Several pieces are covered with seaweed and mollusk. Have you thought about cleaning them? You can make a few extra bucks for that.
They're not for sale.
I'm glad I can do the fish voice, guys. I know some of you might not be enjoying hearing it, but I'm glad I know how to do the fish voice. Nice ship. Did you build it?
It's the Sumatra Queen. One of the ships Captain Obed Marsh used on his voyages to Polynesia.
What was the purpose of those voyages?
That's none of your business.
Boy, real chatty Cathy, this guy. Some of these pieces are ancient. Slave trading. Yeah, or sacrifice hoarding. They must be over a century old. There's a good profit to be made from this, isn't there?
They're not for sale. Nothing here is for sale.
Nothing?
Didn't you read the sign? Buy and trade only. I'm trying to recover everything that was looted from Innsmouth by law enforcement. Little by little, I'm getting there, especially thanks to this crisis. Nobody has any money, least of all the pigs who took advantage of the chaos to steal what belonged to my people.
Hi, Flash. Don't mind the fishman voice. We've run into another fish person in a very different game. The book version of Shadow over Innsmouth has law enforcement doing even worse? Interesting. I should read it sometime. It's gotta be at my local library. Not back to Innsmouth. Don't worry. We're staying in Arkham today, but this fellow here, Benjamin Marsh, happens to be from there. Terrifying, right? Cthulhu comes to strike us outside of Innsmouth. It's interesting. They took to survive. Oh. They lock up the surviving populace of Innsmouth up in concentration camps. Good fucking God. These are maps of Innsmouth. Wait a minute. That small dot on the map on the right. Is that the so-called Devil's Reef?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Seems a real chilled guy. Alright. Let me go ahead and stop ruining my voice real quick. Unless he's not gonna let us through here.
Hey! You have no right to go in there.
Sorry, I'm a detective. Professional habit.
I don't like snoops. Understand?
Well, what about over here? These are maritime plans. Some of the Polynesian islands. It is said that your town was twinned with a certain island in the area. Am I wrong?
Knowledge of the history of Innsmouth belongs only to my people. You stick to your folklore, like Mickey Mouse or the Marx Brothers.
Homeboy need most moisturizer. True. Yes, you could use a skincare routine. Maybe take like a chisel to some of those barnacles there, brother. Alright, I've harassed you long enough. It's time to go check in on the museum and see what exactly went down there. Have a nice day, Marsh. It's disheartening that in 4 blocks we've only seen a couple of businesses still standing. We are facing an unprecedented crisis. I wonder how long this crap will last. And if it will ever end. Alright. So, what happened at the Arkham Museum of the Unusual? Why does the front guard have a patch? Interesting. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's get a little strange here. Welcome to the Arkham Museum of the Unusual. Enter with an open mind and prepare to transform your preconceived ideas about this reality. Posture's looking good, Centurion. Thank you for checking in. Yeah, I guess his anger wasn't without warrant. Reminder from Buckshot, H.P. Lovecraft was H.P. Lovecraft was not a good individual. And the Order of Dagon was just oppressive like that, yeah. There's a lot of subtext in all the Lovecraft stuff, but he was not a good individual. Detectives Foster and Whitman. May we ask a few questions, Mr. Floyd. Raymond Floyd. Yes, of course. I'm the director of this museum. Is there a problem, detectives? Does the name Benjamin Marsh ring a... actually, before we bring that up, so, what's the museum about? The Arkham Museum of the unusual aims to show visitors a reality they are unaware of. We tend to live immersed in a life where superstition has been left behind and scientific reality is imposed on our day-to-day. We try to show, and above all, not to forget that there are unusual and strange facts that exist around us. Where's the music coming from? Nice theremin. Where's the music coming from? We've installed an innovative music reproduction system based on magnetic media and distributed several speakers along the tour route. What you are hearing is a looped playback of Through the Cosmos by Matthew Elm. It's an ideal piece to set the mood for the visit, don't you think? Does the name Benjamin Marsh ring a bell? Oh, yes. I'll remember him for the rest of my life. We understand that the museum had a problem with him. An unfortunate incident that should have never occurred. What happened? We have a gallery dedicated to the mysterious town of Innsmouth. The most outstanding piece in the collection is a figurine bearing the likeness of the primeval Cthulhu. It comes from the looting that took place in the town after the feds arrived. A unique piece. What is a primeval? They are deities from the depths of the cosmos. Cthulhu is one of them, worshipped by the entire population of Innsmouth. Go on. Marsh stormed in, claiming that the effigy belonged to his people and shouldn't be displayed in a profane place like this. Some exfoliant too, yeah. I explained the museum had every right to display it, but he wouldn't listen to reason. He made his way to the gallery and smashed the protective glass. I'm getting too fancy with it. I immediately called the police and tried to prevent him from taking it. During the struggle, he stabbed me in the right eye with one of the statue's spikes. Left me blind in that eye. Did you press charges? Are you mad? Benjamin Marsh is a direct descendant of Obed Marsh. Do you know what that means? I don't want any trouble with the Marshes. Even after he blinded you? Oh, detective, that's nothing compared with what could happen to me. Did Marsh take the figure? The police arrived in time to stop him. But when I refused to press charges, they decided to confiscate it as evidence, in case I changed my mind. Avi? Yes, I see. We have it at the station. We're displaying a replica in its place. It's not ideal, but as we only display originals here, but visitors are fascinated by it. Can we see that figure? Of course, but I already mentioned that it is a replica. You can enter the museum if you wish, always under the supervision of our guide. Since the unfortunate incident I told you about, we have instituted a policy of constant surveillance of our visitors. We won't try anything funny. We're police officers, remember? The museum cannot afford to make any exceptions, detective. I trust you understand. The Marshes don't even have a major influence after the town got broke apart. Yeah, but who knows how many Marshes are out there in the United States that we don't know about. Cthulhu has eyes everywhere, as does the esoteric order of Dagon. I don't think they were just in Innsmouth alone. If Benjamin Marsh got out alive, who knows what other fishmen are around. Also, I didn't know Cthulhu is actually not associated with Shadow over Innsmouth. Interesting. Alright. So, the original was logged as evidence of a crime. So you don't have the original. Our colleague took it, and it's cataloged as evidence. Exactly. Don't you want it back? That would require charging Benjamin Marsh. and the cure would be worse than the disease. Alright, we'll take a look around. Make yourselves at home, detectives. Oh look, it's a friend. I feel like I've drawn a skull like this too. This is the skull of a member of the fearsome Tico people, natives of Southeast Asia. So far, no one has been able to see them and come out alive. This is the closest you'll get to them without endangering your physical integrity. Cthulhu and Shadow over Innsmouth actually only gets minor reference as being related to Dagon. Ah, what's this book here? Oh, I see that the much sought after A Treatise on Primordial Fear has caught your attention. I have received tempting offers from the Miskatonic University to make it part of their collection. But what better place for this cursed... But what better place than here for this cursed book? What's the museum rules about this plot? Yeah, you don't need to read all the rules. Simply use common sense, don't touch anything, and behave like adults. Alright, what is this? Who is this bust of? Professor Roman. Professor Roman Roman Dvorak. Thanks to him, the museum has priceless pieces, such as Eric Zahn's cello. It's a pity that he's no longer with us. What if that's what Dvorak keyboards are named after? Yay, Miskatonic University. Is that a thing, guys? I don't know I don't know what that is. Then again, I don't know a lot about educational institutions. Okay. What's this painting? It's an early work by the famous Arkham painter, Richard Upton Pickman. It represents our role in the immensity of the cosmic void. If you are interested in his work, there are several of his originals in the adjoining gallery. In regards to Innsmouth folk, I like some more modern things go out of its way to even show that Innsmouthers are pretty much innocent in everything, only kind of screwed by what the Dagon dice did. Yeah, no. Marsh is the main issue with that, with those individuals. Let's see. The price list. How much? Single admission, 75 cents. Monthly pass, $2.15. 2% discount for groups. For the price of one ticket, I go to the movie 3 times. The movies don't offer the same sensations as this museum. Yeah, well, I'll judge that for myself. Whew. Where's that guide? I believe he's coming this way. What to give you? Welcome to the Arkham Museum of the Unusual. Please step closer. My name is Horace Chambers, and I will be your guide throughout the tour. If you desire information about any of the pieces on display, I will be happy to provide it. No, he needs to be creepy. Miskatonic Uni is a big element in the dreams of the witch's house. Very dark academia. Ooh, okay. This game makes all sorts of references to other Cthulhian pop culture. I like it. Or maybe just other indie games for that matter. Let's see. What kind of creepy... The tour begins in this room we call the Gallery of the Damned Artists. More acquisitions will be coming soon. You can skip the guide's explanation by pressing the escape key. Let's see. These 3 disturbing canvases are by the Boston artist Richard Upton Pickman. His hyper-realistic strokes and imitable techniques have made him the most celebrated painter in his city. There are certain rumors that insinuates that the impact that these paintings exert on the observer is due to a terrifying fact. This hellish creature exists. Pickman keeps it in his home and uses it as his model. Okay. What about this sculpture? Is this the one he tried to steal? You are looking at the work of the promising California artist Clark Ashton Smith, poet, writer, and sculptor of nightmarish figures from lost worlds. This figure is called Inhabitant of the Moon. Some claim that the image of the being came to Smith in his sleep. Did the inhabitants of our satellite reveal their appearance to them through some inconceivable telepathic method? Richard Upton Pickman is another Lovecraftian fellow from Pickman's Model. Man, that's it. I gotta start looking at my local library and checking out some Lovecraft influenced books. What about, is this a sculpture then? You are looking at the Nameless Entity. Smith claims to have no memory of sculpting this piece. He simply woke up one morning and this disturbing sculpture was staring back at him from the workbench. This is the Gallery of Damned Artist. Okay. Painting, and I think that's everything. If you would be so kind as to come with me. I don't know. I feel like I could make him even creepier. Probably just give him a transatlantic accent. You are in the Hall of Unusual Characters. Here we find those who defied science, or who were at the center of events that would test the very sanity of ordinary mortals. Herbert West. Friend of yours? I was part of the raid that arrested him. He was my first assignment after I was posted here. Oh joy. Pickman's Model is one of the various examples of Lovecraft books I call the this is a work that was actually just good horror writing. I mean, the funniest thing would be this guy not all being creepy, instead talking incredibly like an excited, friendly gentleman. I don't know. Maybe we can try it. The case of Dr. Munoz is a perfect example to illustrate this room. He contracted a severe illness in his native Barcelona. Years later, he settled in a small room in a New York boarding house. No, that doesn't work. It's like Sam and Max levels of comedy, but I need to go with something creepy. Years later, he settled in a small room in a New York boarding house. He had installed an ammonia-based cooling system that kept the room at a very low temperature in order to control his illness. However, when he saw his body begin to deteriorate with unusual speed due to a failure in the cooling system, Munoz asked the other tenants for help. He asked them for huge quantities of ice, knowing that all the stores would be closed by that hour. Kind of picture... Oh shit, you're not wrong, Reeds! When they returned, they found no trace of Munoz, except for a viscous puddle in the middle of the room. The doctor had left a hastily written letter. Munoz had been dead for 18 years. He had kept himself alive thanks to the cold air that preserved his tissues. Lovecraft had a schizophrenic episode about learning how air conditioning worked. Oh, wow. Peter Lorre is a good choice for a lot of things. This is one of them for sure. I can't do him justice, but I'll try. Erich Zahn was a virtuoso German cellist who lived in seclusion in a garret on Rue d'Orsay in Paris. Every night, the tenants of the boarding house heard strange and frantic music playing compulsively, coming from Zan's room. One of them befriended the musician and witnessed some terrifying events. According to his account, Zan was stalked every night by a strange and gigantic creature that only his ghostly music kept it at bay. Upon witnessing these events, the man fled the building and reported the incident to the guard. Unfortunately, they did not find Eric Zahn. In fact, they could not even find the Rue d'Orsay. Wow. He's talking about this guy right here. Buckshot. What about Mr. West here? Dr. Herbert West, a modern-day Frankenstein, better known as the Butcher of Arkham. Obsessed with defeating death, he created a formula that, when injected into corpses, brought them back to life. However, the reanimation came with horrible consequences. The revived ones tended to have an animalistic behavior with homicidal tendencies. West believed that this was because the formula was more effective on corpses that were more recent. He began to indiscriminately desecrate graves in the Christchurch cemetery, which led to his arrest by the authorities. What happened to all those revived corpses? They were put down. But it is believed that those who escaped still roam Arkham. Creepy. If you would be so kind as to come with me. Your Peter Lorre voice is good. Yeah, I grew up listening I grew up watching a lot of black and white films, and of course, Peter Lorre was in a couple of them later on in life. There's like a really good weekly horror picture show called Svengoolie, and Peter Lorre's made a couple of appearances every now and again. He was one of my dad's favorite actors. Lovecraft was definitely a guy. Strange individual. Strange. With the recent discovery of the 9th planet in our solar system, Pluto, we have turned our eyes to the stars. It has made us realize that we are just a speck of dust in the cosmos. We are unaware of the mysteries and dangers that await us on those worlds, just as we do not know that there are other worlds that are not aligned with our plane of existence. Expand your mind and get to know other realities. Also, Peter Lorre made several appearances in Looney Tunes, so of course I know that voice. We got an ad break coming up in about 3 minutes 50, so I'll try to find a stopping point in our little tour here. What is this? In certain astronomical circles, there is talk of the existence of the dark and mysterious planet Yuggoth, located in the far reaches of our solar system. Several writings claim that it is inhabited by the Meagle, an alien race of fungi that can travel through the cosmos. What you are looking at is a depiction of its surface by the French painter Antoine Girard. Creepy. What's this showcase here? Looks like there's cheese in there. The Earth is constantly bombarded with meteorites. Here, you can delight in admiring a select collection of fragments from other worlds. It is the closest contact that mankind can have with the immensity of the cosmos. Surprising amount of science in a kooky occult museum. What about this press article here? A press article published in July 1931 in the Astrophysical Society of America's Journal signed by the prestigious astronomer Julius Tillinghast. The text offers a series of arguments claiming that the newly discovered planet Pluto is actually Yugoth. Tillinghast warns of the dangers of this planet and suggests that research on it be halted. He points out that future contact with Pluto could be devastating to the fate of mankind. Alright. This curtain intrigues me, but we'll go there last. And that is why we now call Pluto a dwarf planet. Yes. This stone was found at the bottom of the Miles Standish State Forest stump. It was part of a meteorite that originated on the planet Pluto. Scientists were amazed to find that, despite the stellar erosion, there were unnatural carvings visible on the rock. The rock could be part of an artificial structure on Pluto. In other words, the 9th planet of our solar system is, or was, inhabited. This is the first material of extraterrestrial life. Amazed? Alright, let's finish up this last painting before we take a break for ads. And I get to take a break on my voice. I think you're full of shit. The planet Pluto, the 9th in our solar system. Discovered 3 years by the astronomer Clyde William Tombaugh, it has fueled theories and expectations about the existence of extraterrestrial life. If you look down at the display case, you will see that these theories are supported by irrefutable evidence. And I don't think we have enough time, so we're just going to take it easy for a bit, let the Twitch audience sit through the ads, and just have a talk with our normal voice instead of Peter Lorre constantly berating us about how Pluto is clearly another world. Enjoy the ads if you can, folks. Man. This is a lot more reading than I thought I'd have to do, but I'm okay with this. I like slow burn games where you get to explore all the little neat references. Like, can you imagine how much trouble they have to go through to create an entire museum in the middle of their game? That's cool. That's really cool. Pluto was actually discovered in 1930? Huh. Oh, man. I appreciate it, Buckshot. That's true. That does kind of work for you, doesn't it? I just gotta make sure all the lurkers are taken care of on the Twitch side of things. Don't want to leave them out. All the detectives matter to me. Y'all know that. But for the time being, yes, I'm unmonetized on YouTube. I haven't racked up enough hours to start running ads over there. Actually, the fact of the matter is, ads are a long way away. That's like 1,000 or 3,000 subscribers. I don't remember which. At like 5,000 hours or something like that. It's getting like hiked up. But the first monetization milestone is like memberships, I think, and super chats. Also true at Centurion, but as somebody who works for Twitch, I can't advise that. But y'all do you. I'll pretend I didn't see it. Yeah, I know. I wish I knew more so I understand all the references it's making. But at least I got y'all to point me in the right direction on this. Admittedly, I have had some people call me a downer for knowing the reasons behind a lot of the books and bringing them up. It's part of what makes the series so interesting, because like you have to understand the psyche behind. Wow, that's actually pixel perfect cursor. Interesting. You have to understand the person behind the book a lot of the time Like, a lot of kids' books back in the day would have been a lot less impactful if I didn't know about what the authors went through. Like Miss Viola Swamp from the Miss Marshall is Missing? Miss Viola Swamp was a real teacher that the author dealt with a long time ago. She told him, "You'll never make it as a comic artist if you just keep doodling all day. You'll never make it as an artist." And he said, "You know what? I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna put you in my book." And so he did. And that's how Viola Swamp was born. So, who is this portrait now that the ads are done? Randolph Carter. This young man claims to travel to strange worlds without moving from the spot through his dreams. The accounts of his travels to the unknown Kadath or the dangerous Dilath Lean are so detailed and realistic that some have dismissed their being mere invention. Carter is scheduled to undergo an exhaustive scientific examination next month by Miskatonic University in order to confirm his claims. And what's behind the lovely curtain there? What's in there? In 1927, hundreds of witnesses saw an anomaly directly above the Empire State Building in New York. From their statements, it was deduced to be a dimensional breach. There were witnesses who could see through it a point in the cosmos. Wait, read that, Ricky. There were witnesses who could see through it a point in the cosmos that did not correspond to our own. What you'll see behind that curtain is a recreation of what happened that day. It was created by Willis O'Brien, who was in charge of the special effects for the hit movie King Kong. As you can see, the museum has spared no expense. Shall we take a look? Yeah, why not? I'm curious. I can't see shit. It's about to start. Don't be impatient. What the hell, guys? A dimensional gap. Huh. Oh dear. That's it? That was underwhelming. What did you think? Magnificent special effects. That was a letdown, but at the same time, oh my god. These devs are great. These devs are great. Okay. And now to the Innsmouth room. We're gonna see some familiar things here. Let's go to the next room. Oh god. Yeah, I feel like I'm back in Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, actually. Looking at those rocks. Phew. This room is dedicated to the enigmatic town of Innsmouth. Its characteristic secrecy has not been an obstacle for the Arkham Museum of the Unusual to provide you with all the information about it. The museum would like to thank Zadok Allen for his collaboration in making of this room. Zadok Allen is dead. What are you talking about? Unless they're talking about Shadow over Innsmouth instead of Dark Corners of the Earth. In which case, he might not be dead. He survives in the book. Okay, thank you, Buckshot. Alright. Well, let's start with the elephant in the room. The Great Old One, Cthulhu. This cosmic entity is secretly worshipped by the vast majority of Innsmouth's inhabitants. It is said to lie dreaming in the sunken city of Raleigh, waiting for the day for when it will be free to reign over the earth once more. You are looking at a replica, by the way. So, Ricky, what kind of eldritch would you worship? I already do, my friend. I worship the great cotton saint of money. Because, unfortunately, believe it or not, money does in fact run the world. That is my Cthulian god. And it's a horrible one at that. Everybody else secretly worships them too. But don't worry about it. But what eldritch would I worship? Would I? I don't know, honestly. I'd probably land in Bad Tidings with some kind of infernal. I mean, they're like next doors, so yeah, I'd probably end up opening an infernal with Debt of Gratitude. Until recently, we exhibited the original found during the Innsmouth raids. A minor incident deprived us of it. We hope to show it to the public again someday. Allegedly, yes. Alright. This is an interesting painting. The Devil's Reef. Located 1.5 miles from Innsmouth Harbor, it is, or rather was, the place where Captain Obed Marsh hid the strange creatures he brought with him from the South Seas in his caves. Thanks to an eyewitness account, the federal government took action and torpedoed the base of the reef with submarines, putting an end to the bloody alliance between the creatures and the inhabitants of Innsmouth. However, it is said that the network of caves on the islet extends to the Abyss of Depths, and that those beings are still there. Great, that bodes well for our finales, huh? So this is Captain Obed Marsh, I presume. Captain Obed Marsh. In the middle of the last century, Innsmouth was going through a crisis that reduced all its fishing activity and plunged its inhabitants into absolute poverty. On one of his chartered voyages to the South Seas, he discovered a small village on one of the islands where strange amphibious creatures were worshipped, offering gold and abundant fish in exchange for human sacrifices. Marsh brought those creatures with him and hid them on the Devil's Reef, which you can see on the left. The town flourished again as in its golden years, and the inhabitants of Innsmouth embraced the claims and beliefs of those beings, and even mixed with their blood. Those who opposed this diabolical alliance were purged, leaving the town inhabited only by those akin to the creatures and their strange offspring. Ah, that explains the fish mom that tore up her child in Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth. Ugh. No one told the guy that anything in Living in the Abyss wouldn't be able to surface and survive. So, you want some Innsmouth fun facts? It wasn't actually a fishing town originally. Ooh. That's intriguing. You may have seen other portraits of the captain with a more, shall we say, conventional appearance. But this is his true countenance, the result of his close relationship with those creatures of the underworld. At least, in the last years of his life. Have you ever seen Dagon? Wild but great movie. No, actually. I feel like I've heard about it, though. Okay. What's this tablet here? The inhabitants of Innsmouth profess no orthodox religion. Their god is Cthulhu, whose representation you can see in the central part of the room, and their church is the esoteric order of Dagon. This ancient tablet with its carved emblem was found among the ruins of the old Masonic Lodge on the new church green where the order was installed. Whoa. Yeah, this does not belong in your hands. Benjamin Marsh has every right to be mad at you. Let's see this painting. Creepy. The current inhabitants of Innsmouth, descendants of the blasphemous hybridization between species, undergo a metamorphosis throughout their lives. It is not so noticeable in the young, but it is in those of advanced age. Once they reach middle age, their appearance resembles that of the creatures found by Obed Marsh, and they feel the call of the sea. And there they begin a new and immortal life, dedicated to the worship of their god, the great primeval god, Cthulhu. Gee, a little bit extra sauce on there, wasn't there? So Innsmouth was originally a shipbuilding town. Also, the part that he leaves out is that there were survivors that weren't part of Marsh's clan. The part that he leaves out is that there were survivors that weren't part of Marsh's clan, because if they killed all of them, the town would have been even more inbred than it already is. But the fish still, like, kidnap people to hybridize with. Creepy. That room exclusively houses the infamous painting, The Faces of Madness, by Francis Hold. Why isn't it in the first room with the others? The museum had to relocate the piece because what? Let's go inside and I'll explain. It is a fascinating story. Come with me. Ugh. Francis Hold was a promising German painter whose interest in the dark arts became an obsession. I appreciate it, Buckshot, thank you. Concerned about the young man's mental health, his family committed him to an asylum where he spent the rest of his life. It is known from his writings that he continued his studies in arcane magic there. The painting behind this curtain, The Faces of Madness, is a result of merging that magic with his art. Why Hold did this is unknown. What is known for certain is that viewing this painting can affect the observer. In what way? Paranoia, depression, anger. Each person reacts differently when exposed to the painting. We were convinced that the stories about this work were mere exaggerations, but when we showed it to the public, we realized that everything that was said was true. I'm intrigued. Can we see it? Management has decided not to exhibit it until further notice. We've had some problems with some visitors. We are not just visitors. Pull back the curtain and let's see it. We won't tell anyone. I'm not authorized to do that. Do so, sir. I don't even have the piece to activate the mechanism that moves this curtain. Bummer. I was curious about this story. It doesn't fit. Nuts. Okay. The mechanism's missing a piece. Well, we don't have it on us, so we're just gonna have to go back out. So this painting affects each viewer differently. I can assure you of that personally, sir. In my case, I would say that the effect it has on me is similar to hypnosis. Oh, excuse me. The first thought you had about hearing a painting that drives people mad is to try looking and look at the painting that drives people mad. Look, I'm a mentally strong individual. I can handle it. I'm a tough guy, you know? I read books. I study law. Yeah. My brain's real big. No. It's a video game. Of course I'm curious. It's hard to explain. Alright. Guess we make our way out of here then. Me too, Reeds. I'm telling you all about my family tree. What I miss. We just took a tour of the Arkham Museum of Oddities. You missed quite a bit of Cthulhian lore that was referenced. Or I should say Lovecraft lore. Family T, sorry. Drama, ah. Thank you for sparing us. But yeah, Innsmouth was a prosperous shipbuilding town that just got royally screwed by a storm. Oh, okay. Alright. Leaving already? Come back anytime. Well, this has been enlightening, I think. Let's go get that object out of evidence. And decide if we're going to return it to Mr. Marsh, I reckon. Alright. Let's head over to evidence. Have a chat with our friend. Alright. I see. Yeah, that's it. Shadows over Innsmouth is definitely going on my to-read list. Alright, finally we don't have any kooky voices to do. Why are you closing? What? Foster? Whitman? How do you do, Wilbur? What do you know about a figure that was seized from a museum? Oh yes, we have it here. Some Innsmouth fella used it to gouge the museum owner's eye. They're savages, those inbred yokels, huh? Strangely enough, the guy didn't press charges. You know what? If it were up to me, I'd send all that rabble back to that godforsaken town they should have never left. We've got enough problems in Arkham without having to put up with those toad faces. Ooh! Okay, I called him an avocado face, but I don't think he should go back to whence he came. He's welcome here. America, land of the free, bucko. Very rude one. Can I see that figure? You can't. It's not your case, Foster. I know it's not my case, but that figure is related to our investigation. Okay, yes, but counterpoint, nobody deserves to be called Toadface. I know I called him Avocado Face, but that was a joke. This guy is serious about being like, hoi manoi, I don't like him. I don't even know what hoi manoi means. I'm gonna be real. You can file to examine it. Just fill it out and get it sent by the department. Cut the red tape, will ya? I don't make the rules, sorry. Just a quick look, that's all. They'd throw me out on the street if they found out. What am I supposed to do at 48 with no job? Starve on the streets like everybody else? No thanks. Don't insist, Jack. Wilbur would risk his job if he agreed to your request. See? Thanks, Whitman. Whose side are you on? Do you want that application or not? Yes, I have no choice. Wait here. Bureaucracy! Yippee! I hate it. How about you button it for 1 minute? We're police officers. We have to follow the rules. Since when has following the rules ever solved cases? It has. A lot of times, actually. Here you go. I filled it out for you. How thoughtful. Get the official Arkham PD seal on it, then you can examine the piece. I know where we can find one. But first, we're gonna try and beg in the offices. But I think... Oh, I'm back. What did I miss? We went through the Museum of Wonders and Oddities. We found the statue, and we tried requesting it to get back to Marsh from evidence, but unfortunately, they aren't going to let us do it without a seal. So let's go check on, yeah, basic stuff. We learned a lot about Innsmouth. Captain's not around, so his office is locked up tight. Alright. And we got to go to Dr. Helen Schreiner's office. Dr. Schreiner will reseal my report. I don't need to go back to her office. Aw, what? But she's got a seal. The ink on the stamp hasn't dried yet. If I line up the two documents carefully, maybe... It worked! Ah, I love adventure game logic. Absolutely ridiculous. The ink hasn't dried in a matter of hours, huh? Alright. Yo! He was shocked it worked. Alright, Mr. Evidence Man, we got your official seal of approval. Hand over the statue. Well, look. Mr. Blobby Gills may be a mass murderer and may be complicit in an order oppressing an entire town of people. But he's a useful oppressor of an entire town of people. So, we gotta play ball for now. Alright. Here you are. Jack. What? Get over here. What's going on? I saw what you did with the ink from that stamp on your report and the application. I'm gonna throw this out here because I found it weird and interesting, but it falls in line with Cthulhu thing here. Did you know they made a Dr. Seuss Cthulhu game? What? There is a Dr. Seuss themed Cthulhu game. Bro. The Island of Dr. Morose. Intriguing. I know Ted Geisel has his own slew of problems with who he is. AKA Dr. Seuss, so... I'm gonna look this up really quick. Just real quick. I'm curious about this. Ooh, it's another Steam game. Wow. Oh no. There's also several Dr. Seuss adaptations of Lovecraft's works. Wow, I didn't know that. Theodore Geisel and the works of H.P. Lovecraft. Oh god. Wow. Oh, that's really faithful to the original material. Holy shit. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to play it someday, but that's amazing to look at. Horror adventure game, yeah. Interesting. You're welcome for the push down the rabbit hole. Okay. I'll just... I'll keep it on my wish list, because it's always good to have more horror games. But that's a freaky one. I'll admit, one of my biggest weaknesses when it comes to horror games is destruction of innocence. And when I see that happen to, like, my childhood memories like that, it really gets me bad. Really gets me bad. Which is why I don't typically play stuff like Bendy in the Ink Machine. I don't know if I'd be able to handle the Island of Dr. Morose. But very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Thanks for the recommendation. I saw what you did with the ink from the stamp on your report for the application. Clever, huh? That's illegal. You cannot do such things. Whoops. Okay. Look, Harvey. More than half the cops in this precinct are crooked. Hell, I'll bet my badge that the captain's dirty too. What I did was a little trick. And I wouldn't have done it if you had kept your mouth shut while I was trying to convince Wilbur. So stay off my back, got it?
Jesus.
Here you go. An application stamped by the captain. Can I sing that damn figurine now? Everything seems to be in order. Wait a minute. Why is the seal reversed? Don't look at me. Take it up with the captain. Give it to me. Wait here, I'll go get it. Shit, that worked. What? I cannot condone your method, but I concede it was effective. Get used to it. This is how I do business, Mr. Whitman. God, this thing weighs a ton. What's this made of? I haven't the faintest idea. Something mighty strange. Like the figure itself. Gives it the creeps, huh? I feel like getting rid of it for Malone's sake. He's been acting weird since this thing's been here. What's wrong? He's grown obsessed with this aberration, to the point of having dreams that that are eating away at his sanity. He dreams of vast cyclopean cities of massive stone blocks and kilometer-long monoliths covered in hieroglyphics. Every morning he wakes up shaken when he hears a voice from the depths of those cities. What does the voice say? Nonsensical gibberish. Something like Cthulhu Ficton. Well, ain't that a cute little thing in our inventory? Anyway, take your time with it. But remember, you can't take it out of this room, understood? Ah. I see what we have to do here. Harvey, over 75% of the police station here either takes money from Italians or Irishmen or fishmen to literally look the other way when people get shot. I think what I'm doing is saint-like compared to that. Okay, this is bad. So, we can't take it out of this room? What about the Irish fishmen? God only knows how they got money. We can't take it out of this room, therefore we need a replacement to give back to Wilbur. You done examining it? Yes. Okay. Great. Alright, give me 1 second. I gotta fix something. Hello, Ryan. Welcome on in. Just gotta fix something real quick, folks. Okay, that is not what I need. This is what I need. Just a small glitch in the system, all fixed. He'll do as he pleases. Everybody in Hotel Calaveras has a favorite chunk that they like to break. Alright. You've heard of Midnight at the Museum, now try mugging the museum. Alright. So then. We've got to somehow smuggle the item out of the museum. Holy cost him half a fortune and half my paycheck probably. All right. We need some way to get that guide indisposed. Hey, you wouldn't happen to want some fish, would you? Oh. Can't open them with your bare hands, huh? There we go. Good lord, what a stench. What's in it? The label says it's sardines. Looks like crude oil to me. A decomposing blob of what used to be sardines is floating on top of blackened oil. Blackened oil, huh? I want to smear this crap on it. Wonder how this looks. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Well, if that doesn't make you lose your appetite. Yeah, for once we're not talking about food and it being appetizing. Okay, so the Innsmouth room. Oh, yeah! If it hypnotizes him, then we can come back through here and steal the statue. Great thinking, Buckshot. I was contemplating about buying sardines, like actual tinned fish, just to see how it tastes. Not good. I can tell you that. Because of my current diet, sardines are actually one of the safest things I can eat. And all I have is sardines and water. It does not taste all that great. But they're okay. They're okay, like if you eat it with crackers. But they're incredibly salty. Okay. Let's have a chat once more. We would like to see Francis Holt's painting. The Faces of Madness.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. That painting has upset many visitors lately. Some have even had violent reactions that have caused us problems. I've decided not to show it to the public for the time being while I consider what to do with it. I'm sorry I can't oblige.
Damn. Alright. So you're not going to give us the hand crank for that thing. I think it's time to start snooping around elsewhere. Alright. Boo, show us the painting! Let us peep the horrors! Okay, so if we need a crank, we're gonna have to find it somewhere else. Let's try Long Metropolitan Park. We got a little stooge there that's willing to sing for us with the right amount of cash. Okay, the lights just flickered. That's a good sign. I mean, there's got to be other ways to eat it than just straight out of the tin. Yeah, like, you can get long crackers that are like corn-based to eat it on. You could get some saltines if you really want to. You could eat it on bread. There's multiple ways you can prep sardines. I just don't know any good ways. This park was built thanks to the generous donation of the Honorable Gideon Treadwell for use and enjoyment of all good citizens of Arkham. Who was this Gideon Treadwell? A slave owner. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, let's see nice and even for all the good pixel art we're looking at. All I know is how to butterfly one with my hands. Huh. Some magazines here. What are these magazines doing here? The bus company has placed a stand with various magazines at some stops to entertain passengers while they wait. It says so right there. And folks don't just walk off with them? Someone will, but they're usually old issues anyway. True, just like your average magazines at a doctor's office. Pan frying them or stuff. Ah, wonderful. Good luck for me. How do you do there, friend?
Do you know when the bus will arrive? It's taking longer than usual.
No idea. But trust the motto of the Arkham Metro Bus Network. Punctuality is our commitment.
Punctuality? I've been waiting here for over half an hour. Luckily, I'm entertained by these magazines.
What are you reading?
Strange Eons. Never heard of it until now. It's fascinating.
That magazine sounds interesting. Can I borrow it? Strange Eons. That magazine sounds interesting. Can I borrow it?
To be honest, I'm having a revelation with this magazine. I didn't think there was so many unexplained and mysterious events in this world. Wait for the bus to arrive, and I'll put it back.
Well, crap. We need that Strange Eons magazine because it's printing a talk that we need to attend. Oh boy. Nothing too eventful happening so far, which is disappointing. Yeah, but we did learn about the great town of Innsmouth and, Pluto. A lot of Pluto. Deck 'em and steal the magazine. Oh, if only that was an option. Oh yeah, so we met a fishman, by the way, Brian. Another one that was from Innsmouth. And he was very, very happy to see us. And by that he means, he's not going to help us with the strange symbols that we saw at the murder scene. Alright. What kind of stories does it push? There's a very interesting article about something called astral travel. Did you know that our soul can leave the body and travel, defying the laws of physics? Why don't you read something else? There are plenty of other magazines right there. They're the same old ones. But this one is new, from this month. I'm liking it so much that when I get home, I'll subscribe to it. I get the feeling that I'm going to need to get that bus a-moving. Okay. Keep reading. What are we doing here? I'm going to take a break and get some fresh air. It's the only place in Arkham where trees grow. Let's focus on the investigation, please. Sorry. Alright. Let's see here. Line 5 stops here. Alright, so we'll get back to him in due time, I guess. What the hell? Arkham will burn tonight. The city will be consumed by fire. You turn your backs on the signs, but the clock hasn't struck doom yet. You must wake up. We must act now. Okay, we got ourselves a local crazy. That bodes well. Well. Detective Foster. So, Wilbers was right. You've reformed. Although I don't know if working for a politician counts as being reformed. He's not the politician. I don't know what you're doing here, but I'm a brand new man with an honest job. I have the honor of being part of Mayor Bradley's campaign team. So, what's with all the stars and stripes paraphernalia? These are local elections, not presidential. Mayor Bradley has always been known for his what is that word? Grandiloquence and vanity. Honesty, politics? Ha! Always gotta have the neighborhood crazy, man. Yep. No neighborhood is complete without one. Who's your friend? I don't like his attitude. Probably a communist. Oh. Harvey, the guy who looks like he mugged Uncle Sam and took his clothes, is Frank the Worm. A pimp and extortionist I put in jail so many times he ended up hating it. Worm, meet my partner, Harvey Whitman. He'll be happy to bust you if this whole racket is to commit one of your misdeeds. I told you, I'm a new man. And my name is Frank Morley. Worm is dead and buried, okay? Damn cops. Don't trust them. Alright. Frankie, you and I should talk. Or the monkey man from Hey Arnold. Hey, Worm. It's Morley, if you don't mind. Alright. Sell me on this guy. Give me a reason why I should vote for Bradley. Give me one reason why I should vote for Bradley. Our beloved candidate has promised to implement employment policies through the construction of public infrastructure. With this measure, the vast majority of Arkham's unemployed will be able to have a decent job. That measure has just been approved by President Roosevelt, and it is nationwide. To that end, the Public Works Administration is being created. I think Mayor Bradley is passing off that measure as a future accomplishment of his. Where'd you get this, wise owl? Nice hire, huh? Franky not Bagman. Yeah, construction does make jobs, but then the construction ends and you're left with even more unemployment. Grandiloquence? My vocab just got expanded. Mine too. That's a new one even for me. And I got flowery language out the wazoo. Alright. Swear this isn't a con. Why do you say that? The Frank the Worm I knew was a foul-mouthed guy who spit more than he spoke. And now... I don't know. You talk as if you read at least one book. Prison refit my compass. I was throwing life away. Look at that! A case of successful reintegration. So it appears. Got paperwork that says this stands legit? Yeah, I got a license signed by the mayor's campaign team. My name's on it. Wanna see it? Sounds tidy. I'll take you at your word. You trust him? He projects confidence. I do. You heard him. We won't bother you. Should I thank you? Alright. You don't seem to be having much success getting the word out for Bradley here. You don't seem to be having much success. At this hour, there's no one left except a couple of cops making the rounds, and that crazy guy with the sign who says I work for the devil. I'm waiting for the campaign team to come and take over the stand. My shift is over, but I don't want to leave it alone at the mercy of the mayor's rivals. Alright. Try this again. Give me one reason why I should vote for Bradley. Our future mayor will end racial segregation in Arkham, regardless of state laws. All citizens are equal for Mortimer Bradley. It's the same thing he promised in the last election he won, and there are still separate schools for blacks and whites in Arkham. And that's just one example. Nothing has changed. It's nothing more than a populist ploy to win the black community's vote. The funny thing is that no one finds it strange coming from an avowed racist like your candidate. Hey, Worm. Is that rumor linking Bradley to the Ku Klux Klan true? Pure propaganda. Oh boy. Cool, he's working for an absolute rat then. Give me one reason why I should vote for Bradley. Mortimer Bradley will respond to popular demand and repeal prohibition in Arkham. All citizens will be able to toast with alcohol without fearing the full force of the law coming down on them. Prohibition is a federal law, which, by the way, will be repealed tomorrow. Bradley has no competence in this. How can he even think of promising such an outrage? Your partner thinks he knows more than a politician, huh? So naive. Brother, you ain't doing a great job of selling your man. Give me one reason why I should vote for Bradley. I'm not debating with this slander mill running. Alright, behave yourself, Worm. It's Frank Morley. Sure, whatever helps you sleep. This tray is empty. It's the tray of cinnamon rolls made by the Salvation Army widows. They've always been staunch supporters of the mayor. Quick shove in the swan pond. They're all gone? Ants the size of King Kong devoured them. This park is full of them. They even drove off the hot dog guy. Oh God. It's our candidate's electoral program. You can take one if you wish. I've got plenty of toilet paper at home. Would you like one? I'm aware of Mayor Bradley's election program. You heard it. They're all yours. Ouch. What's this? An umbrella? What about this umbrella? The rainy season will soon begin, and Mayor Bradley has been kind enough to give away umbrellas to his citizens. All gone but that one. It's a very populist way to buy votes. Bradley is only looking out for the people of Arkham. Is that buying votes? Yes, I think so. You're not used to how the elections work in a democracy, are you, Red? In that case, I'll let them buy my vote. I sell myself cheap. So I'm gonna take this umbrella. Looks solid. Hey! You can't take it! Why? It's busted and won't close. Voters would get a bad impression if they thought the mayor was giving away substandard gifts. Come back tomorrow if you want one. My colleagues will have them replaced by then. Gee, thanks. Alright, well, he's been absolutely worthless to talk to. Let's go ahead and head out of here. Still here, huh, Mac? Number 5 line, okay. Well, no dice on this area, so I guess we're gonna have to move on. Sure we can't deck this guy instead? If that was an option, man. Really interesting book, I guess. Yeah. Alright. Then I guess it's time to go to the esoteric bookstore. The Ishtar Gate. See what we can find there. Whoa. The Ishtar Gate. This is where that parapsychologist presents his book. I think we're fine. That looks relatively censored. Can't check the showcase while that guy's there. Number 5 line, huh? I hear shouting from inside. Let's go in and see what's going on. Ooh, this is spicy. I won't say it again. Get off my bus. Don't you have any compassion? You'll get me fired, you damn hag. Hey. Arkham PD, what's the trouble? This woman, she got on the bus without a ticket and won't get off. Ma'am, you know you can't ride without a ticket. So I beg you to step down. Don't get me wrong. I had to get on this bus to do a force majeure. Force majeure? Spell it out. My cane was stolen while I was sitting on a bench. I have facilititis in the sole of my foot and can't walk without it. Not my problem. Let her finish, pal. I barely made it to the bus so this gentleman could take me home. There's a stop right in front of my door. I told him I'd pay the fare as soon as we got there. I don't have any money on me. Ma'am, don't keep telling me the same sob story. You can't get on here without a ticket. Period. Why don't you take this lady home, pal? Route's the same with or without her, right? Are you mad? If the depot here is Ooh, that's some old language there. If the depot here is a colored woman rode without a ticket, I'm finished. If it was someone else, maybe nothing would happen, but a colored woman? I wouldn't have boarded if I could walk. Besides, your bosses don't need to know about it. Get off. I can't. You're starting to annoy me. Keep it up and there'll be consequences. I am going to pull out this revolver at my hip right now. Appropriate for the times, regrettably, yeah. This is getting dull. Should we go? We shouldn't leave that woman alone with him. Why? Let them deal with it. Look at his hand. Steel crank. And he's about to lose it. Damn it. Alright. Why don't you take her? She's your only passenger. Why don't you take her home? The poor woman can't walk, and I can see she's the only passenger. That's because everybody else has gotten off. Because you stopped the engine and refused to continue the ride until I got off. Doesn't her story move you at all? Don't you have a fucking heart in there? She could be your grandmother. My grandmother would have paid for the ticket. And you? Aren't you moved by the fact that I could lose my job? Half the staff have already been laid off because of this crisis, and I don't want to be the next one. Come on, be reasonable. She's the one who needs to be reasonable. Take her away and let me get on with my job. Jackass. Not saying you should be the one to punch him, but they could benefit from it. Yeah, a little knock to the senses. What's that crank in your hand for? None of your business. Hand it over before something bad happens. Hand over. Hey, Jack? This guy's out of his mind. He'll probably react violently if you take the crank away from him. I wouldn't advise it. And what would you advise? Resolve this diplomatically. Alright. You want to say something, Harvey? Maybe you, with the gloved hand, can help this poor man to his senses? Yes. Sir, Would we be in this situation if she weren't black? Listen, pal. Listen, pal. I'm no racist. Thank God. But she didn't even have the decency to move to the... Okay, yeah, I'm not saying that out loud. Jackass, you are a racist. Don't get any funny ideas. Alright. Well, I'm gonna escalate this. Jack! That's not the way to solve things! Damn it, come on. Alright, let's have a talk. Are you sure you can't walk? I told you, I have facilitis on in the sole of my foot. I can't do it without support. The pain is unbearable. You trying to start a revolution? Between us. You're trying to start a revolution, aren't you? Oh, what now? You know, you won't get off this bus until black people are no longer forced to sit in the back. You got it all figured out. Make a scene, get some support. And maybe this little gesture will be the start of something. What are you talking about? If I could walk, I wouldn't be on this filthy bus. Hey, you. Don't put ideas in her head. Look, promise you'll pay the ticket to the driver? Will you promise to pay the ticket to the driver when you get home? Of course. I'm an honest person. You hear that? Fire it up and let's be done. You expect me to trust someone who got on without a ticket? The company has a strict policy. No ticket, no ride. How about we pay for it? Would you do that for me? It won't be enough. I've been stuck here for over an hour because of this woman, and several passengers haven't been able to make their journey. Are you covering up that loss too? You're very stubborn, aren't you? Yes. This is disgusting, ugly. I hate this guy. I'd be okay if he got fired. But at this point, let's make an effort and walk away. This man is not going to change his mind. It's impossible for me to walk without support. If I could, I'd be long gone by now. Let's get out of here, Harvey. Okay. I feel like I walked in without enough. Alright. We're gonna have to leave her there for now. I have a feeling we need that umbrella we saw earlier, because it's got a cane. Let's see if we can't make our way off with it. Okay, can't take it. Gotcha. Wait, he is gone? I don't think so. No, he's still there. How do we convince... The guy has gone in front of the bookshop? Oh, he is he? Let's go have a look-see. Nah, he's still there. Alright. The best-selling books of the month are on display. Let's take a peek. Fragments of Atlantis by Alexander Mann. On the Trail of the Order of Eternal Wind by Thomas Neville. The Sea of Paimon by James Grinstead. Do you know any of these? Fragments of Atlantis. Very interesting. I don't know the rest. Alright. We'll keep that one in mind. What's that smell? It smells like something's burning. Incense. What? It smells like incense. What's that? A mixture of plant resin and essential oils used as a fragrance. Well, it smells awful. No, we didn't, sadly. Okay. The guide's coming up in a bit. I'm gonna go and take care of myself before we venture into this library further. Folks, if you do need to grab some snacks, we got one more hour ahead of us. So, we'll go ahead and make a save. And we'll be right back in about 5 minutes or so. Don't go any... Also, I do have to advise that if the stream does die suddenly, it's because my power lines got cut by the storm that just erupted outside. But yeah. We'll be right back, folks. This bookshop looks wonderful. Hello, Jess Wes. No, not that kind of Arkham. It is Cthulhu's Arkham. Shadow over Innsmouth. But... oh, I don't like that sound outside. We'll be right back, folks. Give me just like 5 minutes. I'm gonna go take care of myself, and we'll take care of the ads coming in about 1 minute 50.